So, dear student, today we will process the scaling. In the previous session, we had discussed regarding the different scaling process and scale different types of the level of the measurement scale. Now, today we can discuss regarding the types of the scaling, or that is called and types of scaling techniques. So this is also the one of the theory part, and it is most important before we go for the analysis of the data. We must have to measure and scale all the data in that paraphernalia or in that way, so that these are the chart of the different classification of the scaling technique. The scaling technique basically divided into two parts. One is the comparative and is the non-comparative. If you go for the comparative, there is a four types of the comparative scaling, and non-comparative basically is the two types. Then again, the non-comparative is divided into three parts. Then we first go to the clear the concept what is the comparative scaling. Now, the comparative scaling basically it is called as a compare of one object to the another. We have to compare the one variable to another variable. But one of the example is, suppose the researcher can ask the respondent whether they prefer brand A or brand B of the detergent. That means we go for the compare of the product between each other. This type of scaling process is called as a comparative scaling. Then this comparative scaling is the different types, because why then again the question is arises why you can go for the scaling. Now that the main theme of the scaling is that if we go for the scaling, then data is arranged accordingly our research design. Then it is easy to analysis of the research project. Then it is the less timing, cost effective. These are the so many advantages if you go for the scaling. Then what is the comparative scaling? Now comparative scaling basically based upon the two variables. Where there are the two variables, then we can go for the compare. So one example I am giving over here. Suppose a market survey was conducted to find out the customers' preference for the network service provide brands A and B. The outcome of the survey is brand A is accepted by the 57% and brand B is accepted by the 47%. So here it is a clear visible that the brand A is more preferable than the brand B. So this type, because we here A and B is the two variables, then we can go for the compare. So this type of scaling basically is called as a that is paired compare or compare value, that means compare scaling. And for that compare scaling, that the two variable is basic necessary. Then again the question is the rank order scaling. What is the rank order scaling? Now as per the name suggests, we have to go for the rank all the data what the respondent collect from the population. So accordingly, the rank scale, the respondent need to rank or arrange the objects according to his or her preference. That means the respondent make the arrangement of the data what they collected from the different field visit. Then they must have to go for the rank over it. For example, a soap manufacturing company conducted a rank order scaling to find out the orderly preference of the consumer. They asked the respondent to rank following brand in the sequence of their choice. These are the products: brand B, brand X, brand Y, and brand Z. And accordingly, they go for the rank. Brand Y is ranked as a number 1. Brand X is the number 2. Brand Z number 3, and brand V is the rank 4. So it is clear cut information is given. The brand Y is more accepted because this is a rank 1, then the brand X, then the brand Z, and lastly it is the brand V. So this type of scaling or this type of arrangement basically is called as a rank order scaling. So in the above scaling shows that the shop Y is the most preferable brand because it is secure as a rank 1. So that's why it is the most preferable brand other brands. Then constant sum. This is the one type of techniques of the scaling process where the continuously sum of the units like points, chips, etc. It is given to the future attributes and importance of the particular product or services by the respondent. For example, the respondent being a 3 different segment are asked to allocate 50% 50 points of the following attributes as a cosmetic product of the product P. Suppose take an example, a cosmetic product is the P, then we can go for the constant scaling. Then how you to go for that? Now we can that means segregate in the 3 parts in the different attributes. That means different qualities of this product. So we can go for the price part, we can go for the packaging part, we can go for the fragrances part, then in the skin friendly or finishing. So these are the different parameters. According to these parameters, we can go for the segment. That means point out the facts and to give the marks. So if you see the first segment, the product P is giving the more important in the price. So it is so that's why the segment 1 is considered the product P due to its competitive price is a major factor. So if you see the segment 1, segment 2 and segment 3, the price factor is considered as the most important factor in this rank. Then but the segment 2 and segment 3 prefer to the product because it is a skin friendly. Suppose if you go for these parameters, then you see that this is the second part, because as you know that the product basically accepted through the price. So in this segmentation you see the price factor 12, segment 1 12, segment 2 11 and segment 3 is the 11 also. So that the segment 1 is giving the more preference in the product. So this type of scaling or this type of arrangement is called as a constant sum or constant scaling. Then another scaling is called as a Q-sort. The Q-sort is a one type of technique used for sorting the most appropriate objects. Objects means variables. Most appropriate variables out of the large number of given variables. So there is a large number of variables. We can select the sum of the appropriate variables from this population and arrange accordingly. It is suitable in case of where the large number of objective is less than the, that is also the less than the 60 and more than the 140 and most appropriate for all the ranging between the 60 to 90. So first thing is that the Q-set is applicable where there are more variables. Then from the more variables we have to choose the appropriate variables or objects for the sorting the for the scaling. For example, the marketing manager of the garment manufacturing company sought the most efficient marketing executive based on their past performance. Basically past performance, sales, revenue generate, dedication and growth. So these are the basically parameters for the scaling. So so accordingly the Q-sort was performed on 60 executives and the marketing head create 3, that means 3 pipelines we are made over here, then high efficiency, moderate efficiency, low efficiency. So accordingly we have to arrange the 60 executives ranks. Then we know that who who will basically more preferable in the scaling process. So this type of scaling basically applicable at the time of when there is the more variables, then you can use the this type of scaling process. Then what is the non-comparative scaling? The non-comparative scaling or non-comparative scale is used to analyze the performance of individual product or objects on the different parameters. So that means the main objective of the non-comparative scale is to measure or to analysis the performance of individual product or individual variables on the different parameters को लेकर we have to go for the measure. So the non-comparative scaling basically different types. One is the continuous rating scale, then that is called an itemized rating scale. Then another is the systematic difference scale. Then we can go for the discuss one by one. So continuous rating scale, now as per the name suggests, it is a continuously arranged of the scaling in a vertical or horizontal line which is arranged in the two extremely criteria. So that's why the continuous rating scale, it is a graphical rating scale where the respondent are free to place the objects at a position of their choice. It is done by the selecting and marking a point along the vertical or horizontal line. That means the continuous rating scale basically point out in the vertical or horizontal lines. For example, a mattress manufacturing company used a continuous rating scale to find out the level of customer satisfaction for its new product. The response can be taken in the following different way. So you see over here, there is the continuous rating, that means 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Then this rating is basically highly dissatisfied, quite dissatisfied, dissatisfied, satisfied, quite satisfied, highly satisfied. Then we can go for the continuously, we can go for the scaling over it. Then we measure that which is acceptable for the brand or for the product, that we can assess over here. Then as you know that in the previous class we have already discussed that the most of scaling process basically used in the research technology or in the research field at the time of data collection. So the itemized scale emphasis on the choosing of particular categories among the various given categories by the respondent. Each class is briefly defined by the researcher to facilitate such selection. So over here you see the itemized rating scaling basically selected in a particular category among the various given categories, because there are the more variables, then we have to select someone for this scaling process. And this scaling process basically based upon the Likert scale and systematic difference scale, then Staple scale. These are the three process basically used in the non-comparative, that means called as a non-comparative scaling process. So itemized rating scale is a scaling where, that means it is a scale to measure the variables in the different way. One part is called as Likert scale. Now, so what is the main objective of this scaling? Now, the researcher provides some statement and asks the respondent to mark their level of the arrangement and disarrangement over the elements by the selecting of any of the option from the 5 given alternative. That means the Likert scale is based upon the 5-point scale. 5-point scale basically consists of the number 1, strongly disagree, disagree, that means neutral, agree, strongly agree. So all the data what the respondent collected from the population or what the respondent collected from the field, they have to categorize in the 5 points. These 5 your data or your variable. For example, I am giving over here a shoe manufacturing company adopted the Likert scale techniques for its new sports show range sports shoe. The purpose is to know the agreement or disagreement of the respondent. That means how far the product is accepted by the customers, or how far the product is accepted by the respondent. That is the main objectives of the this scaling process. So if you choose the Likert scale, then we have to first point out in the 5 points, because you must have to remember the Likert scale basically based upon the 5 points alternative scaling points. And what are these 5 points? Now these are the 5 points. First is strongly disagree. This is called as a neither agree or nor disagree, that is neutral. And another is the agree, and next one is the strongly agree. So accordingly we have to find out the product is agree or a product is accepted by the respondent or not accepted by the respondent, so that the manufacturing company produce the product. Because before, and it is basically useful in the market research, because the researcher when collect the information for the product from the market, then main objective is whether the product is accepted by the respondent or accepted by the customer. That is the main point, or that is the main objectives of the manufacturing company. So to know the product accepted or rejected, they can go for the different types of the scaling. But Likert scaling in the present scenario is most accepted to know the objectives of the research. So this is the very simple and user friendly. So we can assess through these points to know whether my product is accepted in the market or my product is accepted by the customers in the market or not. That we can assess through this scaling process. Then another scaling is that called as a semantic different scaling. What is this? Now this is a non-comparative scaling rate, is where the respondent can mark any of the 7 points. That means it is based upon the 7-point scaling. You see over here, the Likert scale is based upon the 5-point scaling process, and this is based upon the 7-point scaling process. And this 7-point scaling process for each attributes of the objects as per the personal choice. For example, a well-known brand of the watch carried out a semantic differential scaling to understand the customer's attitudes towards its product. The pictorial present, that means this picture is present, this scaling process. You see over here, it is a variables. The product is attributes or product is distributed in the different variables. First is style, or it is a on face. That means what you see over here: strong, strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. But over here you see they have to categorize the product as a simple, complex, highly quality, low, that means high quality, low quality, widely variety, limited variety. Then you have to see over here that the scaling point in the 7 points: +3, +2, +1, 0, -1, -2, -3. That means if you go for the style is the -2. If you go for the simply is the +1. If you go for the affordable, it is the -1. That means it is the expensively. Then high quality is the qualitative product. Widely variety is the 0, no widely variety. So accordingly you can arrange the information in that scaling, so you can know that whether the product is accepted in the market or not. So this type of scaling process is called as a semantic differential scale process, and it is depends upon the researcher. The researcher, suppose the student asks the questions are which type of the scaling we have to use at the time of research. Now it depends upon the data and it depends upon the researcher. तो researcher कौन सा type का scaling process लेंगे, and advice is that the scaling process should be user friendly and should be accepted widely. That type of process we have to taken into consideration. Suppose if you take the scaling process complex, then it is very difficult or time taking process to analysis your data. So that this scaling process is very important before we process for the analysis of the data, because in the scaling then you have to, next step is which statistical method you have to adopt it to analysis this data. It is based upon your scaling process, because scaling is related to your analysis. If the scaling is giving the error, then analysis is also the error. So accordingly you have to take the scaling as first is as per your data availability, then after the availability of the data, then you see that the time part also, then you see that the cost part also, then accordingly use of the data, then you have to make the scaling. Then what is the Staple scale? Now Staple scale is a measure of the response or attitude of the respondent for the particular object through the manipular rating. The range of the Staple scale is between the -5 to +5, eliminating of the 0. You see over here in the symmetric differential, the 1 is the neutral value, that the 0 is the neutral value, and if you go for the like error, then you see that the certain 0.3 is the also the neutral value. But in the Staple scale, there is the no neutral value. That's why how you can go for the Staple, you see over here. I'm giving one example. A tour and travel company asks the respondent to rank their holiday package in terms of the value of the money. That means value of the money is the one of the variable. User friendly is one of the variable. That means user friendly is the one of the attribute. Value of the money is the one of the attribute. This is the 2 points. And in these two variables, you have to assess that the tours and travel company assess that whether the my tour package is accepted by the respondent or not. That is most important part. So now we can go for the scaling. जब हम scaling करने के लिए जाएंगे, then you see that the scaling is based upon the -5 to +5, so that value of the money +5 -5, user friendly +5 -5. There is no question of the 0. But beforehand you see that if you go for the symmetric differential scale, you see there is a 0, that means one type of neutral point is also here. And if you go for the Likert scale, that is also the one type of neutral scale over here. But in the Staple, there is no neutral. So we have to consider the +5 -5, and the attribute is the that means the variable is the value of the money, and the variable is the user of the that means it is user friendly or not. And you see over here, value of the money is the +2, and user friendly is the +4. So that means what you see in this analysis, now the tours and travel company, what they provide the holiday package, it is a user friendly, no doubt, but we cannot get that much of the value what the respondent or what the customer paid in the holiday package, because the value of the money is the +2. So it is so that's why with the help of the above scale we can say that the company need to improve the package in the value of the money, because the value of the money basically is giving the lower rate scaling than the user friendly. So that's why whenever we go for the scaling, that means arranging of the data, and basically suppose the question the student ask the question, sir, which type of scaling technique you can choose from these types of the scaling techniques. So basically it depends upon the first thing, it depends upon the data, what the data is available. Then second is which type of techniques the researcher is used, that is also the one of the part related with the scaling. But overall आप देखेंगे तो suppose in the present scenario overall आप जाएंगे तो they can use the non-comparative scaling, because in the non-comparative scaling then you can judge or you can assess the data in a very simplified way, and it is more that means it's the less time taking process, and easily you can compare the data from one variable to another variables. And suppose some student ask the question, sir, why not you go for the pair comparative or rank order scaling? You can use the rank, or you can use the pair, or you can use the constant. It depends upon the data, and it depends upon the variables. Suppose they are the variable only, the two variables, then basically when there is the two variables only, then you can go for the compare. Then again the question is, then if it is a qualitative or quantitative, and the qualitative and the rank is also, or the scaling is also based upon the quantitative and the qualitative aspect, that means qualitative part is also taken into consideration at the time of the scaling, and it is most important, and it is the जैसे बोलते हैं कि it is the preliminary step or first step in the research design. जब आप कोई क्वेश्चन, सपोज आप क्वेश्चन एरक बनाएंगे, क्वेश्चन कलेक्शन करेंगे, after collection of the question, you then second step is for the scaling. उसको आप scaling करना है. Then which type of scaling, it depends upon the researcher. कौन सा टाइप का scaling करेंगे, it depends upon the researcher, because as per the data available, then researcher think that which scaling process is adopted and what type of techniques the researcher is used. It is also the taken into consideration for the part of the scaling. So any doubt in the scaling process, student? Hello, students, any doubt in the type of scaling process?
No, sir.
Okay, now because the scaling is the most vital part, or this is called as a beginning step in the research analysis. Clear? Then we can go for the selection of the appropriate scaling techniques. जब आप स्केलिंग करने के लिए जाएंगे, डाटा को अरेंज करने के लिए जाएंगे, so what type of selection process you have to adopted? तो first is that, जैसा अभी मैं बोल रहा था कि problem definition means you have to define the problem first, then statistical analysis, which statistical analysis and what the data is available, then in that way you have to choose your scaling. Then choice between the comparative and non-comparative scaling, it depends upon you. You may be choose the comparative scaling, or you may be choose the non-comparative scaling. And this comparative scaling, basically comparative and non-comparative scaling, it depends upon the your data or your variables. So then third thing is that type of category label. Category label means कौन सा type scaling process you have to adopted. That is the most important part for the analysis. Then number of categories, then balance versus the unbalance scale. Balance scale, unbalance scale क्या है? Now because as you know that when we can go for the any research, there is a certain objective behind it. If the objective is not accepted, or if the objective is not fulfilled, whatever the data we have to collected from the various sources, then that means our research is not fulfilled. So to fulfill the research, or to accepted the research, it should be the balance between the different variables. Suppose the data is the biased, or data is incorrect, or data is the some error, then whatever you analysis, the analysis is also the error. So that is it important part in the collection of the data, because the data is most important part in the process of the selection, of the scaling. So that's why it is called a selection of the appropriate scaling technique. कौन सा scaling technique आप use करेंगे? So it is depend in very a single point. It depends upon the respondent, or it depends upon the researcher. Researcher, as per the fit of the data, they have to analysis, or they have to go for the which scaling technique they are that means adopted for their research. Then we can go for the unit 6, that is called an data processing. In the data processing, what is the meaning of data processing? Now data processing means after collection of the data, the main objectives of the researcher is to process the data or to filter the data, because all the data is called a raw data. From the raw data you have to filter, and what exactly need for your research, that we have to accept for the research analysis. So this is called a simple process. In the simple meaning, it is called an data process or process of the data. So there is the population. From the population you have to select some part, and how to select this part, then this is called a data process. For the data process, there the topic is covered in your syllabus. Basically editing of the data, coding of the data, classification of the data, tabulation of the data, then टाइप्स ऑफ द टेबल बाय टाइप्स ऑफ द tabulation, कौन सा टाइप का उसको ये करेंगे, देन पार्ट ऑफ द स्टैटिस्टिकल टेबल, व्हिच स्टैटिस्टिकल टेबल you have to adopted, then requisite for the good statistical table, and all are in the theoretical part, and it is related, all related each other, because you see that after the scaling, आप scaling कर लिया और arrangement कर लिया, then you can go for the coding or you can go for the data processing. All are interrelated. You cannot go for the process of data first, then you can go for the scaling. After the scaling you can go for the data process. Then again here question, what is the data? Now data is nothing, it is called the certain information content of the observation. आप जो information, आप जो fact or what you collected from the field, so that's why data collected from the field, what you collected from the field has been processed as lead down to the research plan. डाटा प्रोसेसिंग इन्वॉल्व इज द एडिटिंग. क्या क्या करेंगे डाटा प्रोसेस में काम आएगा ना, एडिटिंग करेंगे, कोडिंग करेंगे, क्लासिफिकेशन करेंगे, देन लास्ट इज द tabulation of data is collected, then you can use the statistical tools. So this is the main theme of the data processing. Data processing का main first काम is the editing. After editing means select the suitable for your research. Suppose मेरा पास 100 डाटा है, तो 100 डाटा is not may not be used for the my research. Some of the part is used for the my research. So from the total data you first select what you need. So this is called an editing part. So editing करेंगे, coding करेंगे, classification करेंगे, then tabulation of the data collect करेंगे. So these are the, this is called an data process. Then first is what is editing. Now editing is the first stage of the data processing. Okay, the editing is the defined as the process involving in the review and judgment of the collected survey data. That means जो data आप collection किया है, the data we must have to review and adjustment of the collected survey data. That means what you need for your research, then you have to take it into consideration. The purpose is to control the quality of the data collection. So main objective is editing is to collect the qualitative data from whole of the population, because as you know that the population with total data, the total data is not used for the research. So we selected some of the data for the research. The selection of the data or selection of the some of the data, that is the main theme is the to select the qualitative data for the research study. Editing is the process of examining the data. So it is a process of examining the data collected through the various methods to detect the errors and omission and correct them for the future analysis. The main objective is editing is, if some error in the data, if some certain omission in the data, that must be rectified for the analysis in the future. So that's why we go for the editing of the data. So suppose somebody asks the question, what is editing of the data? Now editing of the data is nothing, it is called just like called as a use the various method to
Sorry, your voice is not audible.
Sir, we can't hear you. My carrots left the meeting room. So you keep on checking over here. Sometimes it says over here, whoever has left comes. But I think he's still there. Left the meeting here. It comes. Hello, is the meeting still there?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I think certain problem in that side perhaps. Hello, Patel sir. Hello, Patel sir. Hello.
Sir has messaged on the chat box that, okay, sir, please continue.
Okay, 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 sir. Please continue. Okay, and then perhaps we had discussed in the coding of the data. Hello, have you seen the?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we can go for the classification of the data. So before to classify classification of the data, as you know, the data is nothing. It is called as a information, or it is called as a different facts we have to collect it from the different sources, and the data basically classified in the two parts, in the external characteristics and as the internal characteristics. The external characteristics basically based upon the geographical way and in the chronological way. The geographical way means whenever we categorize the data in the different geographical areas, so that the data are organized in the different geographical areas or regions. For example, state-wise production of the manufacturing goods, data collected from all India market survey may be classified in the geographically. Usually, the regions are arranged alphabetically or according to the size of the indication of the importance. So geographically, a collection of the data basically based upon the region wise. But chronologically, what the chronologically? Now chronologically, data is called as a data arranged according to the time of occurrence. जो टाइम में वो हो रहा है उसी टाइम पर सपोज यू हैव टू कलेक्ट द डाटा, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज ए chronological data. It is called a chronological classification. For example, profit of engineering industry over the last few years or a large scale of all India market survey spread over the number of years means particular time period को लेकर whenever we have to collect some information, collect some facts, this type of data is called as a chronological data. But geographical data में क्या होगा ना, data is collected whole area or whole regions, it's not in particular, it's in all time. You can collect the data whatever whenever you need, then you have to collect the data. But internal source क्या है ना, internal characteristic by internal source, basically the data may be classified according to the attributes, means variable wise, qualitative, and in the magnitude of the variables, that means quantitative. So that when the data is classified, that means data is classified in qualitative and quantitative, this is called an internal. So income, another frequency is the number of observation. So overall whenever we see, there is the internal data and the external data. Now in a gist, external data basically used in case of geographically, that means geographically data collection basis, or in the basis of when you require, that is called as time taking, that means time period frame. Whenever you collect the data in a time period frame, then this is called as a chronological data. But as compared to the internal data is nothing. It is divide or it is classified in qualitative and quantitative aspect. So that's why I'm marking over here. The qualitative data basically descriptive in character, descriptive in nature, but in case of quantitative, this the one variable based upon the age, weight, income, etc. Other frequencies based upon the output of the class. So this is one example or of the internal source or internal data. Again, the qualitative variable may be generalized in the two groups. One is the descriptive and another the continuous. So for the descriptive and continuous, what is the descriptive and continuous? Now basically, if you see your study material page number 16, you see over here descriptive data and also the continuously. This is the example. Descriptive variables or continuous variables. Then you see that the descriptive frequency, number of child 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means total population or total number is 68. Then you have to go for the single wise 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then number of families 12, 25. These are called as descriptive. But continuous means that the lower limit, upper limit, lower limit, upper limit, lower, that means the variables is not in a single platform. The variables in a continuous platform. 1000 to 2000, 2000 to 3000. So this is called as a continuously data. This is called as continuous data, or this is called as a descriptive data. So continuously and the descriptive data is basically identified as per the variables. If the variables is a continuous basis, then this is called as continuously data. If the variable is based upon the single variable way, this is called as descriptive data. Then classification according to the frequency distribution. Data को आप classified भी हुआ है frequency distribution. As you know, in the suppose आप लोग पढ़ा होगा बीकॉम में, in the statistic में frequency. Now that means how many number of times it is occurrence. That is called as frequency. So in this frequency distribution, we have to arrange the data. Suppose, for example, take an example over here. You look the materials. You see over here there is a number of variables: 3, 0, 1, 4, 4, 1, 0, 2, 2. These are the number of variables. Then we arrange variables in different columns. First is, suppose we can go for the 0. How many times in the 0 in the number of series? The 0 is the 4 types. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why we find out the 4 lines. Then frequency is the 4. Then again jayenge 1. Then how many times the 1 is in the series? Now 1 is the 6 times. 2 is the 5 times. 3 is the 3 times. 4 is the 2 times. So these are called a frequency distribution of the data. That means these are the variables. These are the frequencies. Suppose if you can go for the your study material 107, you see over here 107. Now this is also one of the frequency, that is the one survey दिया है 50 number of 50 college student का was conducted to know the how many times a week they go for to the theater to see the movie. So these are the series or these are the variables is given. So we have to find out the frequencies of these 50 students. That means हमारा total number of student is the 50. तो हमको अभी फाइंड आउट करना है कितना टाइम फ्रीक्वेंसी हो गया है. सपोज 0 टाइम हो जाएंगे, बट दिस आई थिंक दिस एग्जांपल इज गिवन वन रॉन्ग, बिकॉज सपोज यू कैन गो फॉर द 0. तो 0 इज गिवन इन द सीरीज ओनली इन द 3 टाइम्स, बट over here the 5 times लिखा है.
Sir, one also it is given 8 times, and
So
if we
0
count
is
it's 10 times.
given 1, 2, 3. That's the 3. 3 times the 0 is
Sir, voice is not clear.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that means is the printing mistakes. Some printing mistake. Example, other variables correct is given over. 2 is how many types? 2. So my concept is that the sequence is how many there are in the series. This is called as a hello.
सर आपको वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रहा है. आपका वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रहा है.
So this is called as frequency means how many in the series must have to calculate it. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any problem in that side? Because I have already discussed, but I see the lastly it is already disconnected.
Sir, it got disconnected when you were actually teaching the example of 50 college students.
Oh, but I'm not get any response from your side, so that I know that because I show the data or I'll show the information. I don't know whether it is connected or it is working or not. Mm.
I don't know. Actually, we said, but I think your connection disconnected, so that's why.
No, my connection is okay. It's not in my. The problem is not my side.
Oh.
The problem is not my side. Just a minute. Mm. Actually, from hello.
Yes, sir.
Is disconnect from the process of data or truly? Hello.
It got
Hello?
disconnected when you were teaching the frequency distribution.
Frequency distribution.
Yeah.
Okay. When it is disconnected, just to inform me, because I don't know whether it is connected or it is disconnected.
Okay, sir.
Students should inform to me that it is disconnected, so that I can again to reconnect it.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
सर और 3 ठो क्लास में हम सारे यूनिट क्या कवर कर पाएंगे?
I'll try my level best because accordingly I plan it. हम प्लान किया आज मैं रखा हूँ कि up to finish the 8 unit.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
seventh unit, up to 7th unit I'll finish. Then after that accordingly I have to plan at
सर
least
जो
cover.
एग्जाम के लिए एग्जाम रिलेटेड इम्पोर्टेंट है वो सब डिस्कस कर लीजिए.
हाँ, if everybody is everybody is agree, then it is not problem from my side. I will discuss in the some important part in the research methodology, which is basically practically accepted or practically exam related, and also the practically expose yourself in the research analysis area. I will discuss in that area only, because this part is the very
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and if I'm I
Yes,
think
sir.
if,
Our syllabus is very vast. No can cover all the syllabus in few times.
I think if I provide this material, if you study it, then you can get it. No problem, because the
Yes, sir.
theoretical part, so I can go for the practical part.
Yes,
So
sir.
that how this practical is implement in the research field, and it's related to your exam also. I think that will be discussed in the class, and
Yes, sir.
minimum 80-90% is syllabus is covered, no doubt. Cover हो जाएगा उसी because we have
Yes, sir.
3 more class, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday perhaps. So I'll try my level best to clear at least 80-90% as per your syllabus, and you can attend in the examination.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just you see, go for the just brief idea about this whole total of the. Have you go for the data process?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in the data process, frequency distribution, all the
No,
relative
no.
and okay. Then have you clear about the what is the statistical table? Any doubt in the statistical table? Hello?
So statistical table. So शायद आप जब पढ़ा रहे थे तब नेटवर्क ही चला गया था।
ओके ओके, अभी क्लियरली विजिबल हो रहा है?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
So you see that when just I'm giving the just a brief concept. The statistical table means the table which is contain all the information related to the data. Just that's why I'm showing over here one example. ये टेबल को आप स्टडी करेंगे तो then you can get a whole total of the information of your study or of your data. Take an example. Table that means this table is the 4.5 table. The table name is called as population of India according to the workers and non-workers by the gender and location. So here you can see that this is the column wise. We have to categorize gender, workers. The worker को again categorize किया है, main worker, marginal, then non-worker. That means एक table just like it's called as a, have you seen the balance sheet? The balance sheet basically what reflect the financial position of the person. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so same thing in the statistical table basically contain detailed knowledge of the data analysis in the data analysis expressed in the tabular form. So that's why it is called as a name is called as a statistical table. And mind it, whenever you prepare the statistical table, these four part must have to in the statistical table. Title रहेगा, column option रहेगा, row option रहेगा, full total of the body, and these three is the additional.
Excuse me, sir.
And if you pardon,
Sir, when you left the class, we were at the previous topic, which was frequency distribution, illustration 1. And
frequency
after that,
distribution.
there is a there are different topics are being there. Frequency distribution, bivariate frequency distribution, all are not covered.
I have already covered the vibrator frequency distribution.
No, sir, you were disconnected. No, sir,
Okay,
this is
okay.
not done. We were at illustration 1, that is tally market column, a survey of
that
50
means
college students.
hmm.
Yes,
Oh,
this
this
is
month
done.
only.
After that,
Okay.
you were disconnected.
Okay. Okay. I'll go for the just brief idea about this. Okay, because we
Okay,
have the very time short. So this is called why it is called an frequency distribution. There's the number of series over here. You see, there's the number of series. In the number of series, there are the different variables. 3, 0, 1, 4. These are the variables, and these are the series. Then frequency distribution का main काम क्या होता है? How many times these variables occur in the table? Suppose you can consider the 3. 3 is the one of the variables. So 3 कितना time है वो series में है? Suppose if you consider the 3 is the 1, 2, 3, that means 3 is occurring in the 3 times. So that's why you see over here 3 is the variable, 3 figure, that is the tally, and frequency is the 3. So this type of distribution is called an frequency distribution. If you go for the one variable is the 0, then 0 is how many times in the series? 0 is the 4 times in the series. 1 is how many times? Now 1 is the 6 times. And this is the tally. Tally means you first route the 4, then 4 के बाद जब 5 हो जाएगा, you can go for the draw a line. So this is considered as a 1 bar, and it is called an 5. That is the identify the 5. So if you go for your page number 107, आप लोग का स्टडी मटेरियल का 107, you see this is the 50 college students, but I think over here जो 50 college student का दिया है series distribution, over here if you go for the 0, so 0 is how many times in the series? You see 0 is only 3 times in the series, but here is given the 5. I think it is a wrong printing mistake over here, because some of the series, other series is the corrected over here. So you first clear the concept. What is the frequency distribution table? Now frequency distribution table means how many times the variable in the series, that must have to calculated, or that must have to find out in this frequency distribution table. Then you see over here the continuous distribution table. The continuous distribution table is the two types. One is the exclusive and the inclusive. तो इंक्लूसिव एक्सक्लूसिव में क्या डिफरेंस है ना, इट इज अ सीरीज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, नॉट इन अ सिंगल वेरिएबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, इट इज अ सीरीज. जैसे इंक्लूसिव में क्या देखा ना, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, तो इट इज अ सीरीज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. एक्सक्लूसिव में क्या होगा ना, देखेंगे एक का अपर लिमिट और एक सीरीज का लोअर लिमिट, एक का अपर लिमिट और एक सीरीज का लोअर लिमिट. तो अपर लिमिट लोअर लिमिट इक्वल इन द एक्सक्लूसिवली distribution of the frequency distribution of the series. Then again you see that there is a series is called as a relative or percentage relative frequency. Relative and percentage क्या है ना, relative means proportionate, percentage means percentage basis में frequency क्या है. Just one example over here. You see there are the different types of the variable over here: high school, bachelor, MBA, master degree, law and PhD, and these are the frequencies. So 2 students, 7 students, 20, 3, 4, 4. That the total student strength is the 40. So now we can go for the relative means proportionate and percentage based. जब आप proportionate based को जाएंगे तो total high school student का 2 and total variable is the 40. 2 by 40 is the कितना हो रहा है ना, 0.05, and इसको आप percentage में convert करेंगे तो 5% होगा. ऐसे जैसे proportionate में होगा 1.7, कैसे हुआ ना 7 by 40, तो हो जाएगा 7.175, उसको जब परसेंटेज में कन्वर्ट करेंगे 7 पॉइंट. दिस टाइप ऑफ टेबल इज कॉल्ड एज ए रिलेटिव और परसेंटेज. रिलेटिव मींस प्रोपोर्शनेट, परसेंटेज means you converted to the percentage, so this is called a relative and percentage table. Then cumulative frequency distribution. Perhaps in the statistic you have already know that what is the cumulative. The cumulative means is the addition of the frequency. You see over here that these are the variables, these are the frequencies. So up to 1000 frequency is the 22, 45, 70 ऐसे करके these are the frequencies. Now we can go for the cumulative. First frequency 22, जब second को जाएंगे 22 plus 45, तो दोनों हो गया 67. जब आप थर्ड को जाएंगे 67 plus 57, 125. जब 3000 to 4000 जाएंगे, how 221 coming, not 241 plus 97, these are 221. That means if you add all these frequency, the result will be equal to 767. So this type of arrangement is called as a cumulative frequency distribution. Am I clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we can go for the variable frequency distribution. Means जहां पर आपका फ्रीक्वेंसी वेरिएबल रहेगा 2 वेरिएबल बेस रहेगा. देन आई एम गिविंग वन एग्जांपल ओवर हियर. व्हाट यू सी ओवर हियर, दैट द 2 वेरिएबल इज द मार्क एंड द एज, and this type of distribution of the table is called as a bivariate frequency distribution table. Then again is called as a tabulation. The tabulation means जब आप टेबल फॉर्मेशन करेंगे, how you make the table formation. ना टेबल फॉर्मेशन बेसिकली बेस्ड अपॉन इन कॉन्सेप्चुअली बेस्ड अपॉन द वेरिएबल्स को लेकर यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर द टेबल. जब आप सिंगल वेरिएबल रहेगा, दिस इज कॉल्ड सिंपल टेबल. जब मोर देन द वन रहेगा, देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज कॉम्प्लेक्स. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम showing the one example in your study material 113 and 114. Then you know that what is the simple and what is the complex. You see over here, this is the single variables. क्या है सिंगल वेरिएबल्स ना, पॉपुलेशन कितना कितना है ना, 61 में इतना, 71 में इतना. सो दीज आर द पॉपुलेशन इज ए सिंगल कॉलम, दैट मींस सिंगल वेरिएबल्स. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एन सिंगल कॉलम टेबल. सपोज वही पॉपुलेशन को नाउ वी कन्वर्टेड टू द कॉम्प्लेक्स टेबल. व्हाट, हाउ टू कन्वर्ट, वही पॉपुलेशन को नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर द अर्बन रूरल. सपोज वही 61 में टोटल पॉपुलेशन इतना है, नाउ वी कैन डिवाइड कितना रूरल एरिया का है, कितना अर्बन एरिया का है. सो यू सी ओवर हियर, नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर दिस. रूरल एरिया में कितना है, अर्बन एरिया, वही सेम पॉपुलेशन, टोटल पॉपुलेशन सेम, बट यू हैव टू डिवाइड अनदर 2 कॉलम्स. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ कॉलम इज कॉल्ड एज कॉम्प्लेक्स टेबल. अगेन वही कॉम्प्लेक्स टेबल को अगेन भी आप डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. सपोज वो रूरल को जाएंगे, रूरल में अगेन डिफाइन करेंगे मेल कितना है, फीमेल कितना है. अर्बन में मेल कितना है, फीमेल कितना है. दैट मींस वही क्वांटिटी को नाउ अगेन यू रीडिफाइन मेल फीमेल. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ table is also called as a complex table. Now over here you see that वही rural को आप male female, urban को भी male female, the total male female, then this type of table is called a complex table. Clear हो गया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
Yes,
तो
sir.
बीच बीच में yes sir भी बोलेंगे क्योंकि I don't know whether it is connected or not. If you people in the silent, then it is difficult in my part. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then I have already discussed in the statistical table. That I think there is no need of the statistical table. Then good requisite no need. Then you can go for the diagram and graphical presentation. So as you know that वही डाटा को आप अभी प्रेजेंट करेंगे तो you can present in the diagram or graphical presentation way में वही diagram and graphical presentation you also already इन स्टैटिस्टिक्स में पढ़े होंगे कि बार चार्ट क्या है, मल्टीपल बार चार्ट क्या है, डायग्राम चार्ट क्या है, देन पाई चार्ट क्या है, फ्लो चार्ट क्या है. दिस व्हेन यू प्रेजेंट द डाटा in quantity and you convert it in the graph or in the diagram wise, that is the one of the topic in your research methodology. So that's why the topic is called as, जैसे आपको इधर देखा है डायग्राम क्या है, how to prepare the डायग्राम को बनाएंगे उसका रूल क्या है, कितना टाइप का डायग्राम है, जैसे वन डायमेंशनल डायग्राम क्या है, सिंपल डायग्राम, मल्टीपल ये क्या है, पाई चार्ट क्या है, पाई डायग्राम क्या है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल चार्ट क्या है, फ्लो चार्ट क्या है, ग्राफिकल प्रेजेंटेशन. जब ग्राफिक को आप टाइम सीरीज में जाएंगे मींस कंटिन्यूअस में जाएंगे ना, डिपेंडेबल एंड इंडिपेंडेबल वेरिएबल को जाएंगे, दैट मींस दिस इज totally topic is based upon the presentation of the variables in a graph form or in a diagram form. Now we can just brief discussion because I don't need to waste of the time in this way, because all of you know that what is the diagram, what is the pie chart, what is the bar diagram, what is the flow chart, what is the organization chart. So we can go for the just overlook over it. Then what is the diagram? Now a diagram is a graph. Just simple word is a graph, chart, drawing or plan that explain the something shown how to part of the related each other. That means diagram is nothing, it is a graph or chart. Chart में आप present करेंगे. Then what is one dimensional bar diagram? Now one dimensional bar diagram means under this type of construction, one dimensional length is taken into account for the purpose of the comparison. For example, हम directly जाएंगे one diagram को 127 का 128 पेज को जाएंगे तो then one diagram, multi diagram you can know, and soft diagram you can also know that all details. You see over one diagram here. Suppose these are the data we have to, you prepare the table. आप एक table बना दिया, क्या क्या टेबल में है ना, 95 96 में इतना एक्सपोर्ट हुआ था, 96 97 में इतना एक्सपोर्ट हुआ था. दिस इज अ सिंपल वन टाइप ऑफ टेबल. इट इज कॉल्ड एज एन सिंपल टेबल, नॉट कॉम्प्लेक्स टेबल. एंड वही सिंपल टेबल को नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर द प्रेजेंट इन ए ग्राफिकल फॉर्म. यू सी ओवर हियर, दिस इज कॉल्ड एन बार. मींस 96 97 में आपका कितना हुआ था, 167. देन यू कैन गो फॉर, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज, this is year and this is at the export amount. Then we can go for the simple bar diagram of this figure. Then this diagram is called as a simple bar diagram. Means one bar over here, 167 209 401, that means single bar over here. This is called an simple one. जहां पर सिंगल बार रहेगा, दिस इज द सिंपल. सेम एग्जांपल ओवर हियर जैसे दिया है, देखो और क्या क्या दिया है ना, ऑयल ये है, ऑयल इंडस्ट्री, सीमेंट, टेक्सटाइल. बट इसमें वन थिंग ओवर सी ओवर हियर, प्रॉफिट इज द पॉजिटिव एंड प्रॉफिट इज द नेगेटिव. देन यू कैन सी ओवर हियर द ग्राफ इज इन दिस लाइक, दीज आर द माइनस पॉइंट प्रॉफिट, दीज आर द प्लस प्रॉफिट. जो प्लस प्रॉफिट हुआ है प्लस साइड में, those who are in a minus in the minus side. So this is also the one type of simple bar diagram. That does not mean ki bar diagram only in this way. You can explain the bar diagram in that way also, either plus or minus way. then multiple. As per the name suggest, multiple means more bar in a diagram. You see how to make a multiple. You see over here, chemical, engineering, service, food, and in the year chemical 97 में इतना था, 98 में इतना था, 99 में इतना था. Now we can go for the, ये देखिए year means 97, 98, 98 में you see 97, 98 में that the four industries, chemical, engineering, service and food. Then this is the chemical, because first is chemical, then engineering, then service, then food. Chemical, engineering, then food. Food is the last, then service industry. So these are called as a multiple bar diagram. Are you clear, students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then you see in the subdivided bar means subdivided bar means ये जो बार देखा है वो बार को भी अगेन हम डिवाइड कर देंगे. दिस इज कॉल्ड सब डिवाइडेड. इसीलिए देखो वही एग्जांपल में ये दे दिया डाटा, वही डाटा को नाउ वी कन्वर्टेड टू द सब डिवाइडेड. यू सी वन, दैट मींस इफ यू गो फॉर दिस टोटल देन दिस अ सिंगल, एंड वही सिंगल को आप सब डिवाइडेड कर रहे हैं. 94 95 में देखो, 94 95 में यूएस, हांगकांग, मलेशिया, सिंगापुर, जर्मनी. तो नाउ वही 94 95 में डिफरेंट वेरिएबल्स ओवर हियर. देन दैट्स व्हाई देखिए 201, then 86, 57, 271, 91. That means in a single bar divided in the different part. That's why it is called a subdivided bar diagram. Self there. Then pie diagram क्या है? Now it is very interesting. You see, this is the mathematical part of the pie chart. जो हम pie chart बोलते हैं, this is the pie diagram. तो उसमें क्या होगा? You see. The source of price information: radio, daily paper, local trader, co-farmer, personal visit, market office, the number of farmers. Now suppose we can go for the pie chart or pie diagram को जाएंगे. Then how you can go for that? Then you converted in the percentage, और जब आप percentage में convert करके and degree of कितना डिग्री का हो रहा है वो, you see that the degree is converted in the 360, and whole total of the square is the 360 divided by 100 into component percentage. Now we can go for the component. We have the total number of frequency 550. जब आप परसेंट कंपोनेंट करेंगे 50 डिवाइडेड बाय 550 तो वो आ जाएगा 9.1. ये सब आ गया परसेंटेज. नाउ इसको कन्वर्ट करेंगे आप डिग्री ऑफ एंगल. हाउ टू कन्वर्टेड 33 ना 360 डिवाइडेड बाय 100 into 9.1, the result will be 33%. तो टोटल हो गया 360. वही 360 को now we can convert it in this way. This is called an pie diagram by pie chart. मैक्सिमम कितना था ना मैक्सिमम, तो इसमें क्या था ना परसेंटेज ऑफ द फार्मर. नाउ द एंगल 33, 36, 66, 203, 136. So accordingly we can go for the arrange this one. So this is the pie and structure of the diagram. The structure basically is the organization chart and the flow chart. If you go for the study material, then you see over here organizational chart क्या है ना. Organizational chart is most commonly internal structure of the organization. एक organization का जैसे take an example, एक organization, एक educational organization. तो as you know that educational organization top most position में VC. Suppose if you take the consideration of the university में top most रहेगा VC का that means the top is the VC का नीचे रहेंगे कौन, the registrar. So this is called an organizational flow. I am giving one example over here. This is the example of the जैसे मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर. देन मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर का अंडर में दैट द 3 हेड: क्वालिटी एक्सपर्ट, हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी, फैक्ट्री मैनेजमेंट का हेड में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. देन दीज आर द सब हेड. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एन इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द वन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज कॉल्ड एज ए structural chart বা structural structure of the organism. But flow chart में क्या होता है ना, flow chart is simply graphical presentation of the steps. Suppose वही चार्ट को आप ग्राफ में प्रेजेंट करेंगे, इस वही चार्ट को जब आप ग्राफ में प्रेजेंट करेंगे, ग्राफ वाइज प्रेजेंट करेंगे, then this is called an flow chart. So that's why flow chart is simply the graphical presentation of the steps. आप ग्राफिकल वे में जब प्रेजेंट करने के लिए जाएंगे, this is called as a flow chart, and each shows step in sequential order and widely used in presenting the flow, workflow or process. जब आप फ्लो चार्ट को आप ग्राफिकल वे में, दैट मींस डाटा को आप ग्राफिकल वे में प्रेजेंट करेंगे, देन दिस इज कॉल्ड एन फ्लो चार्ट. देन ग्राफ प्रेजेंटेशन, देखिए हम जाएंगे डायरेक्टली 138 को जाएंगे. दैट द टाइम सीरीज है, फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है. आई एम ऑलरेडी गिवन इन द नोट्स, आई विल फॉरवर्ड टू यू, देन यू कैन गो फॉर द 138 पेज. स्टूडेंट्स आर हियर?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we can go for the graphical presentation. You see over here what is the graphical. Now graph में आप जब प्रेजेंट करेंगे तो graph is basically time series basis, another is, see, one is the time series basis, another is the frequency distribution basis. The graph basically present in the two way, time series and the frequency distribution. Now we can see what is the time series. You see over here, this is called an time series. टाइम सीरीज मीन्स अगेन क्या हुआ, देखिए उधर दिया होगा, टाइम सीरीज, ग्राफ इज द टाइम सीरीज. टाइम सीरीज में यू सी वाज द वन ग्राफ इज वन डिपेंड वेरिएबल, मींस वन डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. देन वी कैन गो फॉर द हाउ टू प्रिपेयर द ग्राफ. यू जस्ट सी, देन दिस इज द वन वेरिएबल्स एंड दिस इज द ईयर 94, 95, 96, 97. So you see over here, year and the price. Now we can, not in the diagram, we can present in a graph. You see the graph form, then in the graph form we have to draw over it. So this is called an single, that's why it is called a graph of one dependent variable, because variable is only one. Suppose variable 2, then this is called an two dependent variables. You see over here also two dependent variables, more than. Now you see that the three variables, sales, cost, profit. Now we can present in the graph. You see, this is the graph picture. So this is called as a multiple graph. That's why name is called as more than the one dependent. That is called as multiple dependent variables. Then that the three variables now, and these now three variables is presented in a sales, cost of sales, profit. Then you see the year, the cost of the sale, that's the price. Then this is this type of graph is called as a graph of the more than one dependent variables. And basically graph is why the graph is used in the research. Now it is clear, if you present in the data in a graphical presentation way, then it is giving the clear idea about your study. जैसे आप theoretically कुछ किसको explain करेंगे, and if you go for the quantify over it, then it is easily study to know about the data, to know about the that means variables, to know about the your research area. That is easy to assess. So that's why you can go for the graphical presentation of this data. Then frequency distribution, ये गया time series, because you see that why it is called a time series, it is based upon the year time wise, 91, 92, that's why it is called a time series. Then you can go for the वही graph को आप present करेंगे frequency distribution wise. Now you see that what is the frequency distribution. You see this is the series and this is the frequency. Series is 0 to 10, 8, 10 to 20, 20, 20 to 30, 35. These are the series, these are the frequencies. Now we can go for the represent over here, and you see the frequency distribution. This is the, that means 8, 10 to 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. These are called as number of companies, and these are the series. Series maximum is the 80. So 0 to 80. 0 to 80. Now it is covered. 0 to 10 means 8. You see that this is 10, this means 8. Then 20. Then you see it is standing in the 20. Then you can go for the draw the graph over it. Then this is called an frequency distribution of the graph. That's why it is called an frequency distribution of the graph. And this diagram is called as an histogram, and this is called an frequency polygram. Then cumulative frequency जो बता रहा था तुम लोग को, सपोज वही फ्रीक्वेंसी अभी क्यूमुलेटिव हो गया, जैसे 0 to 2022 ये हो गया फ्रीक्वेंसी. नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर द क्यूमुलेटिव. यू सी ओवर हियर क्यूमुलेटिव 0 to 7, 25, 47, 41, 47, 81, 134, 160, 178, 188, 195, 200. So now we can go for the present over it in the frequency. You see the diagram. So this is called as a cumulative frequency curve. That means all the frequency is a cumulative addition. Then you can go for the graph over it. Then this is called as a cumulative frequency graph. Okay. So you can also see over here in the my notes what is frequency distribution curve and what is the time series. The students are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then any doubt?
Yes, sir.
क्या बताओ? You ask the question. If any doubt. Hello.
Sir, no doubts.
Okay.
Sir,
So
notes.
I'll discuss with the Patel sir. Then if possible, then I have the notes. If you want, then you can mail me. Then I'll send to you. You just make a test mail. Then I'll send to you.
Sir,
Visual presentation of data.
Hello.
Sir, your email ID?
Just
सर आप
write me.
व्हाट्सएप के ग्रुप में सेंड कर लीजिए, हम सब वही ग्रुप में है.
Just make a text mail to me. Then I know that what is the WhatsApp group. You just text a message. Then I know that what is the WhatsApp group.
Sir, but mail ID, मतलब test mail के लिए which mail ID we should mail?
This is my mail ID.
नहीं, सर बोले कि तुम व्हाट्सएप में उनको मैसेज कर लो, वो हमको व्हाट्सएप में भेज देंगे.
Oh, okay, okay.
हाँ.
Okay. For today, this is the end of the class. Then tomorrow I can go for the other topics. Okay.
Sir, visual presentation of data.
Visual presentation of the data. Just a minute. Is the page number in your study material? How many? Which page? Hello.
Sir, 28.
Page number 28.
Yes, sir.
In study material. In your study material.
Yes, sir.
28. This is 20 is the hypothesis test, not the visual presentation.
Yes, sir.
What is your question? Tell me.
Importance of visual presentation of data.
Importance of visual presentation of the data. ये एक्चुअली आपका कौन सा चैप्टर में है? चैप्टर डाटा एनालिसिस और इन व्हिच यू आस्क द हेलो
Yes, sir. Diagram and a graphic presentation.
7 point.
डायग्राम
And graphic presentation.
7.2
Yes, sir.
7.2
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
this is that means importance of visual presentation of the data means वो बोल रहा है कि why should we present the data in the statistic ना इसीलिए क्या लिखा है देखो ना visual presentation of a data means presentation of the statistical data in a form of diagram and graph में that means अभी जो मैं पढ़ा रहा था जो डाटा को सपोज आप डाटा को आप क्वांटिफाई कर रहा है सपोज 10 0 to 10 2 स्टूडेंट 10 to 20 5 स्टूडेंट्स ये क्वांटिफाई हो गया वही क्वांटिफाई को इफ यू गो फॉर द प्रेजेंट इन ए ग्राफ फॉर्म this is called a visual presentation of the data so that's why it is very clearly defined visual presentation means presentation of the statistical data in a form of diagram and graphs जो अभी मैं
Yes,
तुम लोग
sir.
को डायग्राम एंड ग्राफ पढ़ा रहा था this is the best example of this is called a visual presentation of the data
Yes, sir.
okay then any doubt any
We
students
can easily understood the data.
that means
In visual form, we can easily understood the data.
this is the main objective why you can go
Yes,
for
sir.
the visual presentation it is clearly suppose a layman can understood what
Yes,
what
sir.
is the fact of this data because it is a quantified and in a visual presentation that the difference is that easily understood anything any doubt
No, sir.
okay thank you very much all the student okay then tomorrow I'll go for the next
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
tell me
Sir, please explain this illustration number 9.
illustration number 9
Yes, sir.
no page number tell me the page number
Sir, actually,
your
my page number is 50. This is Unit 2, Lesson 7. So, इसमें 7 points, 7.10.2. 7.10.2.
7.7 that means 7 is the graphical and presentation
Yes, sir.
the 7 is the graphical and presentation 7.102
10 फिर 0.2.
just a minute just wait
Cumulative frequency curves.
Yes.
just a minute I will go for that and then I'll explain 7.8 7.9 7.92 7.10 graph of the frequency distribution
Yes.
तो कौन सा पार्ट 7.10 का 2
Illustration 9.
illustration 8 हो गया illustration 9 हाँ
Yes.
तो उसमें देखिए तो मेन थीम इज दैट देखो इसमें दिया है ऑपरेशनल एक्सपेंसेस दीज आर द सीरीज 0 to 20 these are the frequency am I right now we can go for the graphical presentation you see over here what the frequencies first is less than 20 7 then less than 40 cumulative हो जाएगा less than 40 means that means ये जो frequency 7 plus 18 total कितना हुआ 25 am I right hello
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ so इसीलिए लिखो इधर लिखा है 25
Okay.
जब that means less means is the 0 ये